There's a new lineup of free PS Plus games coming up in March. We'll have the rundown on that. Kevin Harvick dominates in Las Vegas. Chris Jericho says he's not coming back to New Japan. Ronda Rousey has been confirmed for all the Raws leading up to WrestleMania. And our biggest topic of the day is the Oscars. It's time to take you from pillar to post. And welcome everybody to this episode of From Pillow to Post. My name, of course, is Joe White, and this is From Pillow to Post, the show that takes you just that from pillow to post from the news of Hollywood, gaming, wrestling, NASCAR, everything in between. And man, do we have a lot to talk about here today with the Oscars taking place just last night as of this recording. The Shape of Water, running away with it all, it seems. Let's run down this list of winners here. Start at the bottom and work my way up. Man, this was a long show. How did you guys feel about the Oscars? Leave me a comment below. The whole thing of Jimmy Kimmel hosting, a lot of people online are sitting there going, Jimmy Kimmel is advocating for the Me Too movement, the Time's Up movement, and yet he used to have boobies on women jumping up and down on trampolines. Guys, it was a different time back then. The Man Show with him and Adam Carolla, I never watched it because I thought, this is just freaking stupid. Because being that age, I was like 16 or 17 when that show was out. I'm just sitting there going, ooh, boobies on trampolines, big freaking deal, But anyway, it was a different time. Just like the Kobe Bryant thing. If somebody did something 10 years ago, are we going to crucify them for it now? I don't think we need to. I don't think it should happen. God damn. I mean, if that's the case, there'd probably be no men working at all, anywhere. Come on. Anyway, supporting actor. They gave the supporting actor award out first, and it was Sam Rockwell for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, so I think I got that pick right. Happy for Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell is awesome in that movie. Makeup and hairstyling, The Darkest Hour took that one. Phantom Thread took costume design. Surprise, surprise. It's a movie about dresses. Come on. Documentary feature was Icarus, which I got right. Sound editing was Dunkirk. I got that wrong. I picked Star Wars. Star Wars is never going to win an Oscar, at least in modern day times. Production design got taken by The Shape of Water. Foreign language film was A Fantastic Woman from Chile. Supporting actress, I picked this one, Allison Janney for I, Tonya. She deserved it. She was awesome. Her speech was awesome. Animated shorts was Dear Basketball by Glenn Keane and Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, of course, taking the stage and accepting the Oscar and getting all that backlash that I talked about a minute ago. Animated feature, of course, Disney continues to be king with Coco. Best visual effects was Blade Runner 2049. Shocker there. Film editing was Dunkirk, which I believe I got that one right. Documentary short subject, Heaven is a Traffic Jam on the 405. Live action short film is The Silent Child. Best adapted screenplay. Now, I wanted Logan to win this one. I definitely wanted Logan to win this one. But Call Me By Your Name did. The fact that Logan, a comic book movie, I mean, you had 2 comic book movies. You had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and nominated for an award. You also had Logan nominated for an award. Maybe a sign that the comic book genre is starting to creep in there and get Oscar worthy. I doubt it, but who knows? Another 5-6 years. Who knows? Best original screenplay was Jordan Peele winning for Get Out. I liked his speech. I liked the fact that he won. But when he won this, I'm sitting there going, okay, they already gave him the award for this. There's no way they're giving him Best Picture or Best Director. And I was right. Cinematography was Blade Runner 2049, so Blade Runner 2049 taking home 2 awards at this Oscars, the 90th Oscars. The original score was The Shape of Water, which beat out Star Wars, Dunkirk, Phantom Thread, and 3 Billboards. I thought me being the hopeless Star Wars nerd, I voted for Star Wars here. Best Original Song. I knew that Remember Me from Coco was going to get it, but I voted for This Is Me from The Greatest Showman because all these songs being performed live, This Is Me from The Greatest Showman just had a freaking amazing performance. I mean, Mary J. Blige did good too, but they gave it to Disney. Best Director was The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro winning that one. No surprise there. Best Actor, again, no surprise here. Gary Oldman winning for The Darkest Hour. Best Actress, I had this one pegged too. Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri was freaking amazing. And then Best Picture, I thought 3 Billboards was going to take this one, and it ended up being The Shape of Water. So it was really good. The other highlights of the show was Jimmy Kimmel doing the jet ski giveaway all night, talking about how the winner with the shortest award speech was going to get the jet ski, and I think it came in at like 38 seconds. Somebody in a sound design or costume design, whatever category, got the jet ski and the vacation to some lake somewhere. I have to wonder, did he really get the jet ski? I wonder, did he really get the jet ski? And that was a good running joke of the night. Another good thing was to see him and a bunch of actors and actresses, including Mark Hamill and Margot Robbie, go over to the theater across the street with a bunch of candy and everything and surprise moviegoers there. I thought that was pretty funny. But this was your typical politically charged, let's get up on our soapboxes and shout movie award show, just like it has been for the entire award season. Hopefully next year, not as much, because I got to be honest, everybody jumping up on their soapboxes and shouting from the rafters didn't appeal to me. It didn't entertain me at all. Sorry, I watch these shows and everything to escape that shit. I watch movies to escape that shit, not just be thrown right back into it. I did like the fact that Jordan Peele, though, when he was accepting his award for Best Screenplay, he did what should have been, you know, what should be doing, you know, what all these actors and actresses should be doing, and that's thanking us, the fans, you know. But then again, you know, movies like The Shape of Water, who didn't do billions of dollars at the box office, proves that, you know, it just shows that the Academy doesn't care how many people buy tickets. They're not looking at it from our point of view. They're looking at it from their own criteria. But I did find it, I did think that Jordan Peele giving a shout out to the fans, everybody that bought a ticket, was really, really nice of him to do. A really stand-up guy for him. Frances McDormand, after winning the Oscar for Best Actress, had her Oscar stolen. The man who briefly, this comes from the Variety, the man who briefly stole Frances McDormand's Oscar for Best Actress took the opportunity to boast about it on Facebook like an idiot before he was arrested. Terry Bryant, who was 47, was arrested on grand theft charges after he took McDormand's Oscar from her table at the governor's ball after the ceremony. In the brief time that he had got the Oscar, he had posted a Facebook Live video holding the trophy up and claiming, "Got this tonight, this is mine, we got it tonight, baby." He kisses the Oscar several times in the video before allowing those around him at the party to touch the trophy. He even yells out, "Where's the Jimmy Kimmel party?" And an unsuspected bystander goes, "That's your ticket to any party you want to go to." Claiming that he won the Oscar for music without elaborating, Bryant said he would be heading to the Vanity Fair Academy Awards party. What a fucking moron. The LA Police Department confirmed Bryant's identity and arrest to Variety. McDormand's rep, Simon Hall, said in a statement, they were happily reunited last night after a brief time apart. The news of the Oscar theft first hit social media after New York Times culture reporter Clara Buckley tweeted a photo of Bryant, writing that he was stopped by Wolfgang Puck's photographer who got the Oscar back. Frances McDormand is reportedly saying to let the guy go. Guys, what a fucking moron. What a fucking moron. If you're going to steal something like that, okay, here's the thing. First off, don't steal shit like that. But if you're going to, don't brag about it on Facebook. where millions upon millions of people are watching you. This guy deserves like the Dumb Crook of the Week award. I swear, he's a fucking moron. Walking around, yeah, man, I got my Oscar, man, yeah, I'm going to go to this after. You're a fucking moron for posting that shit. I hope they do arrest you. I hope they do lock you up. Just for sheer stupidity. In wrestling news, Ronda Rousey, WWE announces this afternoon that former UFC, this comes from PW Insider, former UFC Bantamweight champion turned newest star Ronda Rousey will be appearing on every Monday Night Raw episode through WrestleMania 34. So she'll be appearing tonight in Milwaukee. She'll be appearing at the March 12th taping in Detroit, the March 19th taping in Dallas, the March 26th taping in Cleveland, and the April 2nd taping in Atlanta. So that's Milwaukee, Detroit, Dallas, Cleveland, Atlanta. 5 weeks. We're 5 weeks away from Mania. That's freaking insane to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Jesus Christ. So it's. I think it's good that they have her appearing. She's obviously not going to wrestle, but they're going to probably, do goofy shit with her and just have her come out and wave and do her ugly stare and all that shit. So it's one of those things where, is it good that they're having her appear like this? Yeah. But after WrestleMania, I don't look for her to appear at all until probably SummerSlam. I'm disappointed by this, but it looks like she's going to have the Brock Lesnar schedule. Speaking of Brock Lesnar, he did appear over the weekend in Chicago as scheduled at that house show. So what does that mean for him in contract negotiations and whatnot? Nothing. It just means he carried out his current contract responsibilities because he knew if he didn't appear, he could get sued. Reportedly, he's been over on his dates as far as appearance dates for I don't know how long. So it looks like they're paying him on a date-by-date basis right now until a new contract can be signed. But the Ronda Rousey thing is just, it's insane to me. They're going about it the wrong way. I would have had her pop up in NXT before she ever popped up on the main roster. I know a lot of people out there going, Joe White, you're insane. That's a PR nightmare. Why is she going to show up on the little show? She's Ronda Rousey. She's more important, blah, 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 blah. But no, if you want to be in the business and if you want to assert yourself into this business, you do it the right way. Other news here. Before we get to Chris Jericho, it was announced today that Hillbilly Jim is scheduled to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It was broken by the Bleacher Report, or WWE leaked it to the Bleacher Report. I like Hillbilly Jim. I thought he was already a member for some reason, but I'm glad he's going in. I really am glad he's going in. I love me some Hillbilly Jim. Other names rumored are Bam Bam Bigelow and Kid Rock for the Celebrity Hall of Fame, Celebrity Wing. Kid Rock has done a lot. I mean, he helped, lend his song, the American Badass song, to the Undertaker back in 2000. So it's one of those things where I don't, that song helped Undertaker a lot, I think. So why not put old Kid Rock in there? Chris Jericho mentioned on Twitter that he is quote unquote done with NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Somebody on Twitter goes, so are you done with New Japan Pro Wrestling? And Jericho goes, unfortunately, yes. And of course, Jericho has been known to troll people before. I do think we're going to see a match with Tetsuya Naito in Long Beach. When they do that match, it's going to be great. It's going to draw, New Japan's always going to draw tickets, regardless of who's on the card. It's if you build it, they will come mentality that so many other of these indie guys have. They see, like the All-In thing. Cody Rhodes is putting on the show. Oh, we got to go to that. What's on the card? I don't know. Well, I don't care. I'm still going to buy my ticket. It's the same thing with WrestleMania. And then what do? You complain about the shitty card once you get there. So it is what it is. Let's talk a little bit of NASCAR here. The Monster Energy Cup Series was in, all three of their major series, the Xfinity Series, the Camping World Truck Series, and the Monster Energy Cup Series were in Las Vegas this week. Kevin Harvick dominating again. notching his 100th win across all the. If you add up his wins across all the national series, it equals out to 100. Harvick dominated, winning the first 2 stages of the race, and then capped out his 39th Monster Energy win by leading 214 of 267 laps on the mile-and-a-half track. He notched his 99th win a week prior in Atlanta. I think this is, as much as I don't want to say it, because, I'm a fan of Harvick, but I'm a more fan of Truex Jr. After the 2 years that he's had, I think this is Harvick's year to capture it. I really do. He's just, those Fords and Stewart-Haas Racing are just so dominant this year. Other NASCAR news, NASCAR is continuing to field problems from teams about the new air guns. If you remember me talking about it, the air guns now don't put out as many RPMs, and they are handed out by NASCAR as opposed to the teams supplying their own air guns. NASCAR claims that they dyno test every air gun after every race and have a rebuild schedule that is like every 3 to 4 races they're rebuilding the guns. However, only in their 3rd week, teams are continuing to have trouble with these. Larry McReynolds took to the Fox broadcast a couple of times on Sunday and said that, look, we had problems with the old ones. Everybody's making a fuss because these are NASCAR given. And you know what, though? I disagree with that. Yeah, we have, this is not the only reason why they're voicing these opinions of, NASCAR gave out the guns, so it's like the community air gun that we might get this week, And that's true. When you can't take an air gun home, rebuild it, retest it, and make sure it's working, and you have to rely on, NASCAR given equipment, that's like government issued, and it's not always the best thing. Why? Because NASCAR themselves wants to keep the cost down. But that cost cutting is a reason why most of these lower class teams think it's a good thing, because I believe it was JT Doherty, one of their figureheads was on the XM channel talking about how they spent $500,000 last year in air guns and the maintenance of their air guns. So that $500,000 can now be allocated to somebody else, somewhere else on the team, like an engine or toward the actual car, or even the drivers. So it's a good thing. It definitely has its good reasons. It definitely has its pros. Definitely has its cons. I'm against it because of the fact of it's not reliable, and they've already taken away one member of the pit crew that could go over the wall, and that's shortening these pit times. We were seeing 10, 11 second pit times. Now we're seeing 13, 14, and 16 second pit times. And the reason is they wanted to slow things down on pit road, make it less cluttered down there on pit road, and less injuries, even though an injury did happen this week where somebody got their finger hurt. NASCAR is not going to change it anytime soon. Jimmy Johnson, everybody contributing age. Everybody's questioning Jimmy Johnson's age. He's over 40 and talking about how age has finally caught up to him. He's a 7-time champion. Now it's time for him to retire, blah, 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 blah. And then we have a guy like Kevin Harvick, who is in his 40s, come out there and win the race and dominate the first half of first 2 races, or the last 2 races that we've had. He probably could have won the Daytona 500 too, if they hadn't wrecked and spun out. But age is not a factor here. I'm sorry, it just isn't. It's called Jimmy. The whole Rick Hendrick organization, including Jimmy Johnson's team, is suffering. And the reason being is because of the fact that they went to that Camaro body style. It's going to take at least this year. This year's like a rebuilding year for Chevrolet because they got that new Camaro body. They got to play with it at each track. They're not accustomed to it like the Fords and Toyotas are. Ford is being rumored to put in the Mustang next year as one of their cars. So do I think we'll see the Ford slack a little bit next year? Maybe. But Jimmy Johnson, he's just having a rough year. He can't win every year, guys. I think he's now gone 24, 25 races without a win. It just happens. It happens. A slump happens in all sports. Look at it that way. So I don't think nothing's wrong with Jimmy. I think Jimmy's not going anywhere. I don't think Jimmy's going to retire until he gets that 8th championship and breaks the record. That's just the way I see it. Point standings for the Monster Energy Cup Series outside of now these are unofficial. But the leader of the points is Kevin Harvick. 3 points back is Joey Logano. 4 points back is Brian Blaney. And then it goes to fourth place, which is 20 points back, is Martin Truex Jr. As far as the playoffs go right now, Kevin Harvick is leading it with 13 playoff points and 2 wins and 3 stage wins. Next is Ryan Blaney having 1 playoff point with 1 stage win. Brad Keselowski, the same thing. And then you go back to Austin Dillon having 5 playoff points for the win at Daytona. And that's pretty much it. The only other person to have playoff points is Kurt Busch. So, yeah, that's the way the playoffs are shaping up so far. From a playoff point of view, again, Kevin Harvick is leading it with those 3 stage wins. The playoffs are a long ways away. I'm excited because I'm going to one of the playoff races in Charlotte where they're debuting that new Roval. It's going to be freaking amazing. As far as your rookie of the year goes in NASCAR, there's only 2 of them. And that is William Byron and Bubba Wallace Jr. And, of course, Bubba Wallace is leading in far rookie of the year standings. How fitting is it that, if you go back to the back of the points standings, Danica Patrick, okay? Danica Patrick is 39th in points. There's 45 people total. Danica Patrick should be finishing dead last because she's retired, in my opinion. She shouldn't even be recognized for those 2 points. She's only ran 1 race. It's a publicity stunt for her to run it, just like she's running the Indy 500, and that's a publicity stunt too. She's probably going to crash out of that one as well. I just think it's nuts how they're even recognizing her on the board. PlayStation News. This is going to be a short episode. PlayStation News. Your PlayStation free games for free. If you're a PlayStation Plus member, they hit tomorrow as of this recording. I'm recording this on February 5th. They will come out more on February 6th. For the PS Vita, you have Claire, the extended cut, which is a cross-buy with PS4. Bombing Busters, which is also the cross-buy with PS4. PS3, you have Mighty Number 9, which is a cross-buy with PS4. I'm excited to play that because of the fact that I want to see how bad it really is. And then The Legend of K. PS4, you get the Bombing Busters, Claire Extended Cut, Mighty Number 9. You also get Ratchet and Clank, which I'm excited to play, as well as Bloodborne. A lot of people are saying Bloodborne is probably one of the best PS4 games of all time, so I'm excited to check that out. Of course, Sony announcing this year. I got it wrong on one of my previous shows, and I do apologize. They are announcing that as of 2019, not 2018, but 2019, they are stopping the free games on PS3 and PS Vita. So you got 1 more year of free games on those 2 consoles, and that's it. They're stopping it. Why? Because they're dying systems. I know a lot of people who still have PS3s and haven't upgraded to the PS4 yet, but my advice to you guys is it's time to do it. I think that, if you haven't bought a PS4 by now, you really should. It's a great system. They're coming out with some awesome games for it. I'm playing through South Park, The Fractured But Whole, and it's a freaking amazing RPG right now. Maybe it'll seem a little bit too simple for some, but I like the combat style. It reminds me of like a Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy Tactics. It's a really great game. Go pick that up if you haven't already. And that'll do it. What do you think about these news stories I've covered? Leave me a comment below. You're going to see graphics popping up on your screen here for sharing and other videos here on the channel. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share our content, and we will see you guys down the road.